Welcome in, Gemini Collective. It is Laura, and this is going to be your reading for the full moon eclipse in Virgo. So we got to keep in mind, Gemini, this is a South Node eclipse. It is bringing in a major karmic release, deep healing. It's going to bring in necessary endings. Remember, Gemini, eclipses are fated, so whatever is falling away now is making space for something greater. This eclipse energy is aligning to the Fool's energy, and so we are all being called to take a leap of faith. So before we can step into the new beginning that lies ahead, what needs to be released? What do you need to surrender? What do you need to heal? So trust that whatever is leaving your life now is meant to go so you can move forward. So Gemini, keep in mind, this is for any major placements. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Release the burden. Align with your highest path. Let's dive into these messages and see what the eclipse is activating for you. What does Spirit want you to know at this time? Door to Spirit. Okay. Aries got this message. So there's a challenge here. I got to say there's a challenge here. And so we get the 6th chakra on the bottom of the deck. We get third eye energy. Spirit is opening up the doorway to some type of emotional healing connected to a pattern, a childhood pattern. They are showing me the Page of Cups. They're also showing me the 6 of Wands. And so victory over patterns is what I'm hearing. Victory over patterns. This could also mean you are being called to speak your truth. I gotta show you this. We go from the 6th chakra to the 5th chakra. So, and then the 3rd chakra on the bottom of the deck. Gemini, I don't know if you are burning through some karma. I heard the energy Kundalini. I think you are protected as you speak your truth, Gemini. So I don't know if you got a core wound connected to communication. Maybe you are a Chiron in Gemini. Apply this to any part of your birth chart where you feel it is resonant. But I also feel there's a contract here. There's a contract here coming to a close, and Spirit is saying you're going to have some blind faith here. You definitely are opening up the doorway to some type of spiritual communication. Gemini, you really have to allow this divine guidance to come through. I do think you are connecting to some higher wisdom. I think it's kind of flowing into your life here. So I don't know if you're going through a moment of spiritual awakening, gaining clarity, deepening your connection to your soul's path here. But there is without a doubt a third eye activation going on here. And so maybe you are beginning to see beyond the physical realm, tuning into the unseen. So I think your intuition is sharpening. There might be an increase in synchronicities as you kind of start to recognize all of the spiritual signs and synchronicities around you, because they're always there and maybe you have been ignoring them. So I feel a heightened intuition and a connection to some gut feeling. So if you're seeing repeated numbers, if you're seeing symbols or visions, go inside and meditate. I mean, like into your inner world. Go inside the house too if you need to, but I just feel really pay attention to your dreams. There is some type of subconscious message being activated, and there could be a sudden awareness of a past pattern, and there could be spiritual truths coming forward. So I think you're going through a major activation. You need to trust what you see. You need to trust what you feel, even if it isn't making logical sense. Spirit is definitely guiding you towards truth and healing and alignment under this eclipse energy. And so whatever is about to happen, I think it is unlocking the next steps that you need to take. But I do think there needs to be a speaking up of some truth. I think you need to speak your truth. Maybe you've suppressed this truth, and this could especially be connected to childhood wounds. The throat chakra is the bridge, okay? It is the bridge between knowing the truth and expressing the truth. And so a lot of us get stuck and blocked on the path connected to the throat chakra due to fear of rejection, especially if as a child you would speak up and it led to punishment or abandonment. If you feel unheard or dismissed, it's due to some type of childhood wound. And so oftentimes as adults, we will suppress our emotions to avoid conflict. And so we can't have conflict resolution if we avoid it. And so maybe you are a people pleaser and you choose to stay silent just to keep the peace. But now during this eclipse, your soul is basically beckoning you to speak up. There's a truth within you, I think, that needs to be acknowledged, whether it's about a past wound or generational cycles or a relationship that you're in where you have chosen to stay silent. And so I think this is a message about taking back your power. There could definitely be a soul contract closing out. I do feel there's a block in expression. So how can you take back your power, Gemini? How can you see beyond where you feel powerless in your life? Because I do feel there could be a situation here where Spirit is trying to tell you, hey, you don't have to be powerless. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of respect. You don't have to shrink yourself to be accepted. And so stop dimming your light for others. Set those strong boundaries, demand that respect, and take bold action towards what it is that you deserve. I think it's time for you to stand in your worth unapologetically. So let's see what this doorway is opening up. What doorway are you stepping through? Let's get a few tarot cards out and let's see what this message is all about for you, Gemini. What do we got for Gemini Spirit? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Okay. We get the Strength reversed to the Hermit reversed. Oh my goodness. We get the Three of Wands reversed, the Seven of Cups reversed, and we get the Ace of Cups reversed. So everything's in reversed. I just feel like something here is feeling like it's been flipped upside down. It's definitely feeling pretty heavy here. And then we get the Knight of Pentacles. So there is an opportunity, I think, to plant a new seed. There's an opportunity to put in the work. The Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy. And so I think it's time to leave an old version of yourself behind. I do feel there's this feeling of like you don't feel worthy to receive love. I think that's a huge block, and that's being illuminated under this eclipse energy. I gotta say, Gemini, it's feeling very heavy. This combination of cards all in reversed. And of course there's 5 cards and this is a 5 card. There is a challenge here. It's almost like you've been feeling so disconnected from your inner power. You've lacked inner confidence. There's this overwhelming sense of feeling emotionally drained, self-doubt. There's an inner struggle here. I feel with insecurity. So I don't know if there's fear, if you don't fully trust yourself or your ability to move forward. But I feel there has been this energy of avoidance. The Hermit reversed, I just feel a period of isolation or avoidance, not in a healthy soul-searching way. I kind of feel like you've been hiding from the truth or even resisting the divine guidance. And this is definitely aligning with that third eye activation, almost like your intuition has been trying to show you something, but you've been avoiding it. So I kind of feel this is a huge combination of like a wake-up call that you can't stay in fear. You can't stay in a state of avoidance, that's for sure. I don't know if you're dealing with a Leo, a Virgo, could be dealing with a water sign, a fire sign. We get Virgo on the bottom of the deck. But what is it that you have been avoiding? Because I know Spirit's been showing you something. What is it that you are afraid to face? I think that's what Spirit is asking you. What are you afraid to face? Because these 2 cards here, the Three of Wands reversed to the Seven of Cups in reversed, is saying there's clarity after confusion. I think where once there was illusions and distractions and maybe even just deceptive thinking, it's all falling away under the eclipse energy. Maybe what you once believed is not going to be true anymore. Maybe you once thought that you had to stay silent, or you believed you weren't worthy of more because of the throat chakra block and the solar plexus block. But I do feel this is saying there's a turning point. It's almost like you've been waiting for something to shift and feeling like the future isn't unfolding, but you can't wait around. You have to take action. It's like this energy almost of being stuck in limbo. And so you are at a turning point, I think, where you can see the truth of a situation. Oh, let's get these cards back. Where you can see the truth of a situation or just the truth of something connected to an emotional block, right? The Ace of Cups in reversed is an indication of an emotional block connected to self-love or even feeling emotionally depleted. There's definitely a self-love wound here or a struggle to pour into yourself. Maybe you're so busy pouring into everyone else, you're not pouring into yourself. Or maybe you've been so busy seeking validation outside of yourself. But there's this reminder that your power is always going to be internal. We don't get validation, and well, we can get validation externally, but it isn't going to give you true power. So I think this card here is asking you, are you holding on to old emotional pain? Are you resisting the deep healing that spirit is probably guiding you towards? Because you can't pour from an empty cup. It's time to release the emotional weight of the past. The block isn't outside of yourself, Gemini. It's within you. This really is a moment to choose you and to reclaim back your power and to step into this emotional renewal. I do feel that's a very strong message connected to this full moon eclipse. And then we're going to talk about the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. And so I think you are in the process of healing deep-rooted beliefs about your worth, about your value, yeah, about am I worthy of a new beginning in love? Yeah, there's that wound. There's that wound. And so I think you are healing a deep-seated, distorted belief about your worth and your value. Maybe you're learning to rebuild confidence in yourself, in self-trust. I do feel this is a message about creating a strong foundation for the future. It takes time, right? It takes time to create that strong foundation. It's definitely not going to be an overnight transformation, but every time you choose to connect to that doorway to spirit and you trust your intuition and you speak your truth and you reclaim back your power, then you're taking a step forward. And so the bottom of the deck is kind of what you don't see happening below the surface. And so this is a reminder, keep going. Even taking little small steps, it will lead to massive change eventually, right? The Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady wins the race. You're not stuck, Gemini. You're kind of just at the beginning of a breakthrough. And so the doorway to spirit is open. But the choice is yours to walk through that doorway.